We're excited to tell you about something new. Enjoy Church is coming to O'Fallon. In 2015, join Enjoy Church as we start services at our new campus in O'Fallon, Illinois. Keep watching for details or visit enjoychurch.tv.
Hey, Happy New Year to you. I'm excited for you. The year 2015, I believe, is going to be the best year ever for you. You know, one of the things that can make a year great is a great relationship. I'm talking about romantic relationship, love, marriage. If you're dating, finding the right person. As you probably know, it can be one of the most fulfilling things in your life to have a great relationship. But on the other hand, it can also be one of the most draining things in your life. If you end up with the wrong person and things don't click, especially if there's this commitment there and you're going two different directions in life. So what's most important? We're going to talk about a series that we did here at Enjoy Church called Friends with Benefits. Now we're talking about marriage and commitment and relationship, but you know there should be benefits to your marriage. If you're single, this message will really help you, because in this message, I'm going to talk to you about, you know, what to look for in a man. If you're a lady that's looking for a guy and, you know, you're attracted to this guy and you see, well, he looks good and, you know, he's got a job, that's a good thing, and he's a Christian. Well, I want to talk to you about some really practical things. And then if you're a guy, I want to talk to you about the lady, what to look for in her, because naturally we're most attracted to physical looks right off the bat, but that beauty is skin deep, as you probably well know. Things change, and so I want to talk to you about that in a practical way. I want to help you, those of you that are in relationships, how do you remain and how do you stay attractive to your spouse, to your husband, to your wife? What do you do? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this series, and I'm glad you're with us today. You're going to get something out of this. If you're single, if you've gone through a divorce, if you've been married for 30 years, this series is going to be applicable to your life. You're going to be able to, in a real practical way, take the truths of God's Word that we're going to study and learn together and put it into play in your life. So also, before we get into the teaching, I want to invite you to come out to one of our campuses right here on the east side in the St. Louis area. Downtown St. Louis, you're just a few minutes from us. Right now we're in Collinsville. We are getting ready to launch our brand new campus, our brand new building in O'Fallon, Illinois. We're so excited about it. We are right on the Interstate 64, between Highway 50 and Greenmount Road. And you'll see us right there on the interstate. You can't miss it. We're looking forward to opening our campus within just a couple of weeks. We'll let you know the date very, very soon. Also, go to our website and check that out. And then if you're in the North County area of St. Louis, or you're on the Illinois side, come and see us at our Alton campus. Enjoychurch.tv is the website. Go to the website, like us on Facebook. On Facebook, you can really stay connected to what's happening. Instagram, Twitter, we'd love to connect with you with all those things. But let me say, it's the new year, 2015. God has great plans for your life, and one of those plans is for you to get connected to a great local church where that church is there for you. It's a place for you to play out your life, to live your life. When life gets upside down, you've got a church family and people to be there with you, to encourage you, to bring hope to you. And we would love for you to come and visit us here at Enjoy Church. Consider us as being your church family. We'll love you, we'll help you, we'll encourage you. Let's go into this message today. Now, where we get this thing backwards in our relationships is most of us, we are attracted first physically. And I mean, I get that because we live in a physical body. It's like, oh yeah, hello, how you doing? And so we're attracted that way. But I want to teach you the proper perspective on attraction, how to get it right. You may be attracted first physically, but how many of you have ever met anyone, you met them, who was real good looking and pretty at first until they opened their mouth? And how many of you know where the phrase beauty is only skin deep came from, right? It's like, ooh, dear Jesus, what happened there? And so I want to teach you the first and the most important priority is the key word here. The most important priority in attraction, to be attractive, to remain attractive, and to be attracted to, is spiritual attraction. Another way for me to phrase this is called spiritual compatibility. It's when you have a spiritual compatibility. And where we make the mistake oftentimes is we come together with this physical attraction and we go, are you a follower of Jesus? Do you have the same spiritual goals that I have? And they go, no, what's that? And you go, oh, wow, I got to get them saved. And so you get them to raise their hand or you get them to pray the prayer, and you're still not on the same page, because what we often think is as long as they've accepted Jesus, we're spiritually compatible. And what I want to say to you today is that's not the case at all. Right. Have you ever met spiritually uncompatible people? Absolutely. Because we're all at different places. We all have different levels of heat. For example, here's the way that I know. I told you a while ago, you want happiness and you want joy at home. Let's play some things out here, okay? This is going to help you practically. I'm all about being practical. This is the way this works. Let's say spiritually, you come together and you go, okay, physically, yeah, we're attracted physically, but spiritually, let's make sure we're clicking on that one. Okay, so spiritually, he or she is on fire for God. They're committed to go to church every weekend. They're committed to go to midweek services. They want to volunteer and serve at church. We're doing extra things at church, and they want to tithe, and they want to give, and they're committed to God. They're a God-first type person. They're all in. And their soon-to-be spouse or their current spouse is going, look, I'm glad I'm going to heaven, but I don't want to do that. That's not all that. It doesn't take all that. Hey, I believe in Jesus. And she or he says, but I want to pray together as a family. I want to pray at home. I want to pray together. I want to do church at home where we talk about God and where we talk about our Bible study and the revelation that God gave me. I want to have that communication. I want to have that type of a spiritual relationship. One of you can be hot and the other one not. One hot, one not. Yeah, you're both going to heaven when you're saved if you've accepted Jesus, but that's no compatibility. What I'm talking about is how to have joy and live at the highest level. So there's something to be said about matching compatibility. Now, how many of you have ever met somebody that's too spiritual? Over spiritual. What's an over spiritual person look like? They're like this. Let me take you back to my high school days. I'm a senior in high school, just getting ready to graduate high school. There's a young girl in our youth group. This young girl in our youth group, she begins to say to me, well, first of all, she was always the type of person that God spoke to her everything. You know what I'm talking about, the over spiritual. God told me to buy that orange instead of this orange. I don't know why, but he has a reason. He told me to go in that aisle of the grocery store first before I go down that aisle. He told me to go home that way instead of that way. Now, let me say this to you. I believe that God can do that on an as-need basis, but that would drive me crazy to do that with my kids. Joel, you're sitting in the wrong seat. One over, buddy. See, pretty much because I love my son, I say, Joel, you can sit pretty much wherever you want to sit. I'm okay with it. Now, if I have a special need where I'm going to have him bring me something or do something, I want him in a certain seat so I can speak that to him. But for the most part, 363 days of the year, 2 of the days I might have him do something, but the 363, I'm going to let him pick where he wants to sit. Come on. These over spiritual people that say like, God told me, God showed me, God, and they're saying it all day, every day, 15 times a day. I'm a pastor, and I want God to speak to me. And I don't hear him like that. For the most part, here's the way he leads me. I say, God, I've got a decision to make. I'm going to go this way. You have freedom and access to stop me. If you don't want me to do this, stop me here. Lord, this car looks better than that car. Lord, this carpet seems better, but I don't know which one. God, move on my heart, or stop me on one of them. And sometimes, the Lord just doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? I want to help you. I want to help you. So this girl in the youth group, she comes to me one day and she says, Daren, I had a dream and the Lord showed me that you're going to be my husband. Now, now, because of my perspective of God at that time, which I was going, God, who are you? I'm going, God, why do you hate me? No, really. Why would you hate on me, God? But I have been bad in my life, and I guess instead of having to go to hell, you're making me go to hell. I mean, go through hell. So she began to tell me I'm going to be her husband. God spoke to her like he spoke to her what orange to buy, all right? And then she began to tell all of my friends. Now, how many of you think my friends really love that? Yeah, they did. And so my friends began to tell me too, you know you're getting married. I know your wife. This is the Lord. You know, I went home and then I began to have dreams about it too. No, I'm telling you the truth. I was nightmares. Like, my life is sentenced. I might as well go to prison, go to jail. It's over. See, here's what I'm saying to you. We weren't spiritually compatible. And I want to say to you, there's something about it's a fishing term that fly fishermen use. It's called match the hatch. And the greatest thing that you can develop, if you don't have it, you're married and you don't have it right now, is become spiritually compatible. I want you to know something. You can cut years off of your life problems by praying together. That's why spiritual compatibility is so extremely important. Are you with me? Number 2, emotional attraction. Or let me say it another way because I want your mind to work on this because we're talking about being attractive, feeding the attraction factor in your relationship, and that is emotional compatibility. Attraction, life purpose. Boy, when you've got a calling and you're called to do life together, my wife and I, the great thing about our relationship, our marriage, is that when she married me, I did not tell her that I had a call on my life to be a pastor. And I remember when we were already married when I told her, I said, by the way, I feel like God's calling me into the ministry. And she's like, whoa, just a minute here. I married an electrical contractor, not a pastor. Uh-oh, I should have told her. Fortunately, though, her being the godly woman that she is, she went to prayer and she says, God, is this what you want? And God began to speak to her heart. That same call is on you, girl. I began to work that call in you. You just didn't know that I was working that pastoral call in you as a little girl all the way up. We're both called. Listen, there's something awesome about emotional compatibility. And then it plays itself out practically. I'm sharing with you how to improve your marriage. And if you're single, what to look for in a relationship, how to make this thing work. It's your mind, it's your thinking, it's your perspective. I've seen this thing play out with legalism. People who are super spiritual and legalistic, you know, they put laws and rules and they think that you can be holy in and of yourself. Like, I will be holy. I want you to know you are holy already because of Jesus and what he did. You may not realize it in your behavior yet, but it's only because you're not drawing near to him and remembering how much he's done for you. So here's how this can play out. One person can have a good grasp on God's love, God's forgiveness, and have a relationship with God. And another person can be coming to God through the filter of, I'm a good person. I keep the rules. I do this. I don't listen to any rock and roll music. I don't wear my hair long. I don't have tattoos. And they look at all this outward stuff. And you're a believer, you're a Christian too, and you decide, let me just go there with you for a minute. I've watched this stuff in marriages cause problems. You decide you want a tattoo. And he or she says, you're not right with God. And they judge you. Let me tell you, that's emotional incompatibility. Am I getting too close to home? Okay, so emotional compatibility plays itself out in a lot of different ways. How about this one? How do you feel? How do you deal with emotions? Are you a pretty positive, a pretty optimistic, upbeat guy or gal? But your future spouse, your boyfriend or girlfriend, they're always the victim. They're always hurting. They're always feeling sorry for themselves. They're always self-pity, pity. Or maybe they're critical. Maybe they're gossipy. How about they're always upset. They're always in a battle. They're always in strife somewhere. And you're easygoing. See, they say opposites attract, and oftentimes they do. But that's a gift from God when it is. You shouldn't look for the opposite. We think we can fix people. I've seen this with girls mostly thinking they can fix a guy. Oh, I know he's not all that, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll bring him to church and let Pastor D preach to him. I'll alter him at the altar. He'll alter at the altar. And I want you to know something. One of the greatest things, if I could say any great thing, first, put God first. Second, put his word as a standard. Number 3, the third piece of advice I'd tell everybody is remember this in your marriages, in your relationship. You cannot change another human being. You can't do it. It's impossible. And in fact, the more you try to do it, the more you handcuff them from changing. It's almost as it's a spiritual law that the more you try, the more they can't. How do you know when someone's immature? They're demanding of their own way. They want what they want when they want it. What's the sign of a mature person? That the older they grow, the more mature they become, the more they realize I can defer to you. Let's go. My wife and I, we psych each other out all the time. Where do you want to eat? I want to please her. I want to take her out to eat wherever she wants to go because I try to make it all about her. But she, being the same way, she's like, where do you want to eat? And it's the most frustrating thing you've ever seen in your life. I want to please her. She wants to please me. I'm set. Here's what I do. I put it in park. I say, we're not leaving the driveway until you tell me where you want to go. This is about you. And she's like, no, this is about you. I want you happy. I want to please you. And so we psych each other. We both want to go to the same restaurant, but she thinks I want to go here. So she says here, and I go, really? Okay, we'll go there. We go there, and she goes, well, I really wanted such and such place. I'm like, I didn't want to come here. I came here because you said. She says, I thought you wanted to come here. That's why we come here. So we end up fighting about that. We love each other just too crazy much. See, a sign of immaturity says, it's me, it's all about me, and you make it about you. Here's another thing to watch, girls. Watch how he spends his money. Is it hard for him to give? Is he self-centered with his money? Is he reluctant to? You need to match that. Watch how they handle, this is a big one, watch how they handle not winning at something. When they don't win at something, this is huge, this is a big sign. When they don't win at something, do they become the victim? And do they begin to point fingers at the winners? Well, they won because they cheated. They won because they had this and that. Let me just tell you, I would run. If you're dating, if you're already married to that guy, send him to me. I'll help you out. I'll just have a talk with him. But let me tell you, if you're dating a guy like that, go ahead right now, put your tennis shoes on, and begin to run. Because he's going to be hard in the fixing. It usually takes a long time for that guy to change. I'm just telling you. And then this is a big one. Watch who he looks up to. Who does he look up to? Watch what entertains him. What's his favorite entertainment? And here's the biggest one of all. And that is what breaks his heart. What do you see in his life that just breaks his heart? Is it the same thing that breaks the heart of God? See, if his heart breaks when he messes up and he makes a mistake, and it breaks his heart because he broke the heart of God, whoa, you got a good man. I'm just telling you, men, you want to be attractive, you want to be winsome, learn to make what God's heart breaks over the same thing that breaks your heart. You will become so attractive. The last one for the girls is this. Watch how he treats his mama. This one doesn't vary. This one works all the time. However disrespectful he is towards his mother, telling her to shut up, do this, do that, talking bad about her, being disrespectful to her. Let me just say this to you. He is going to do the same thing to you, only magnified by 20. It's a telltale sign to see how a young man treats his mom. Once again, girls, it might be time to put the running shoes on, because you're going to be treated that way only worse than he treats your mother. It's a respect issue. Let me talk to the men for just a second. Girls are going. Guys, watch how she talks about other people. If she's always in a conflict, if she's always the victim, if she's always gossiping, it's not going to be happy at home. It's not going to be fun at home. Watch how she acts when she doesn't get her way. When things don't go her way, watch that. Guys, watch this. Watch how she treats her daddy. I know every girl can't be a daddy's girl, but some of the best wives in the world are daddy's girls. And I'm just saying, how she treats her daddy and the respect she has for her daddy is the respect she will have for you. Well, Pastor, what if she didn't have a relationship with her dad? What if her dad abused her? She can't respect that. No, maybe you can't be close in that situation. But here's what I would look for. Look for a replacement. Does she respect men? Does she hate men? She might like you, but if she hates men, she will eventually hate you. Let me get to the third one. This stuff is good, isn't it? Some of it's painful, though, for us because we've all messed up. But I told you before I close, this is about healing. Number 3, physical attraction. Here we go. This is physical compatibility. Solomon talked about this, and I don't even have to preach on this one. Y'all got this one down pat. Automatically. You know if you are, you know if you're not. But I will tell you this. If you get these others, you get spiritual compatibility, you get emotional compatibility, you match, man, they become so good looking to you. You might say, well, you know, you're a young person and you say they're so attractive at 20 years old, but then at 60 and 70, what happens to our physical bodies? They get older, they get wrinkled, they get lumps and bruises and cuts and scars. Let me tell you what happens in a healthy relationship. When you have these other things going, the physical attraction increases through the years. And you would think, because of what the world teaches us, that it is just skin and beauty and smooth, no wrinkles. And hey, I'm all for that. Someday I'm going to do stuff. Just, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to look the best that I can. I want to be presentable, yes. But let me tell you, what real beauty is, the older I get, the more I know this, what real beauty is, it's the heart. And man, when you've got the heart going, that girl is so hot and she is so attractive to you. And it's not based on what the world says beauty is. It's based on what God says beauty is. And beauty comes from the heart. Oh, that's good stuff. And then the last one is this. This is one I just want to remind you. Don't forget this one. Those of you that are married, remember, you'll know exactly what I'm saying to you. But you got to work on that. And that is family attraction. Family compatibility. Let me just tell you, when you marry her, you get all of her crazy relatives too. When you marry him, you marry into the whole nutty clan, don't you, girls? It's like you get mama, you get daddy. Here's a couple things you're going to have to realize. Watch the mom. Watch the dad. A lot of times we have inordinate, maybe inappropriate relationships with our in-laws. If you've got a Marie Barone, how many of you watch Everybody Loves Raymond? You're laughing because you know how funny the show is, because Marie Barone reminds you of some marriage you know, maybe even your own. A mother-in-law that is in all of your business, that tries to control everything. First of all, let me say this to mother-in-laws. Step back. Step away from the car. Come on, mom. Help your daughter out. Help your son out. Step away from the marriage. Let them do life. Hey, married couples, let me help you out. Never, ever go to your mom or go to your dad and tell them about your arguments and your discussions. There's only 2 times you really need to do it. That is when you're in danger or your children are in danger, or somebody's getting ready to hurt somebody in a drastic way. But if you're arguing over silly stuff and you can't get along about something, don't go to your mother. Don't go to your dad. One of the best gifts my wife gave me was that she only talked good to me about me to her daddy. Her dad never heard one negative thing. Could she have said stuff? Oh, you betcha. But her dad thought I hung the moon. When he died, he didn't know any of my faults because she protected him from the bad Daren. He only knew the good Daren. Isn't that a gift? And what it did is it made him love me more. Well, I know you can stay attractive now. There's been some very practical tools that we brought to you that will help you remain attractive, be attractive, and then also, if you're single and you're looking for the right person, we want to help you find the right person. I want you to know this too. Here at Enjoy Church, these are the kind of messages that we bring to you every week when we come together. We don't teach over your head. We're not answering questions that you're not asking. We're trying to bring you something that you're going to be able to put into play on Monday morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that you're able to put this stuff into play in real life, workplaces, relationships. God loves you in a practical way, and you really should receive his love in a practical way. It's the beginning of the year. Get involved in a great church. Make that commitment. One of your New Year's resolutions that shouldn't go away in March or February is that you should get involved in a great local church. Enjoy Church is that type of a church for you. Consider us. Check it out. Go to the website, enjoychurch.tv. If you need prayer today, our prayer workers are standing by to answer any questions or pray with you if you've got any needs. And you call the number on the bottom of your screen. If you'd like a copy, see, I've only given you a few minutes of today's teaching, but there's a whole DVD of this, and it's available to you. It's free. I'm going to pay for the postage, the shipping, and the handling too, so no strings attached. It's our gift to you. We love you. We want you to have a great year. We want you to have great relationships, and God loves you, and so do we here at Enjoy Church. We love you. We'll see you back here at the same time next week. Come visit us in person.
We're excited to tell you about something new. Enjoy Church is coming to O'Fallon. In 2015, join Enjoy Church as we start services at our new campus in O'Fallon, Illinois. Keep watching for details or visit enjoychurch.tv.